Okay, 1, 2, 3. We're here with Franky Zapata, podcast hosted by myself and Ian. How you doing, Franky? What's going on?
Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Of
How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Very good. Everything's perfect. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Ian, you wanted to touch on anything? You were just talking about.
No. Well, I'm based out in Miami. Michael's in New York, and we saw one of the we repost a lot of cool viral videos, and we reposted one of them where it was you flying over Spa. You know, that got over like 1 million views, 30,000 likes, and I'm like,
yes,
wow.
It was like a jetpack of some sort.
Just cruise.
It's called a flyboard. It's called a flyboard.
Yeah.
Yes. So Ian was saying he posted it. It went like viral. So you make these jetpacks, Franky? I'd love to ask you about that. And that's what Ian was just mentioning here. He had wanted to connect with you through the podcast. Such a pleasure to have you on. Absolutely super cool product. I'd love to learn about your company and what you do. I'd love to start with Franky. What is your story? Who is Franky Zapata? If you could tell us, what's the background? How'd you get to this point where you're making jetpacks like this, like crazy awesome products? What is the background? Who is Franky Zapata?
I started my career as a jet ski racer. I was a jet ski racer for about 18 years. I've been 7-time European champion and 3-time world champion. Oh. And I create my own team at the real beginning of my career. So I have to manage my mechanics and my sponsors, etc. Because I really love to have the freedoms and doesn't work for somebody. And then I become my team become factory team. So I had some support from big factory like BRP, Rotax, or Yamaha and Kawasaki.
Oh wow!
And then in 2008, I created my own jet ski brand, and it's all my company starts. So we start selling racing jet skis. It was not for recreational. It was really for racing. So it was, and we won with this jet ski. Me and my pilot about around 17, 18 world title. So the best in these categories.
Wow.
And then in 2011, I invent the water flyboard, the one you can see connected to the jet ski.
Yes. Okay.
Fly, yeah.
Oh, is that, what is it? Is it a hoverboard? Because that's what I was thinking.
It's called flyboard. The name is flyboard.
You like kind of okay.
Yeah.
So done this before? It's like you shoot like water at it, like out of the bottom, right? There's like two of them, you fly up. I've never done that before. Have you, Ian, or no?
No, but I've seen them here, and I posted videos before. It's so cool that, you know.
Yeah. That's very cool. Okay. So wait, that's an awesome story. So so you said you were a champion, jet ski champion, a 3 year in a row, right?
Yes, no, not in a row, but I won a
3-time champion in general. Yes.
Yeah, 3-time world champion and 7-time European champion.
Wow, that's so cool, man. And then so you you built relationships with the companies that manufacture the jet skis, etc. Right?
I've been a factory racer, and then I learned because I had my own team, so I learned how to do some engineering and some mechanics, and so I developed some skill in that because I'm not an engineer. So I left school when I was 16 years old. So really, I learned my job.
Pardon me, Franky, if you said it. Where are you based? Right? Where are you based? Growing up?
I'm born in Marseille, in south of France.
South of France.
That's beautiful. I was just in Monaco not too long ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So continue if you don't mind where you left off. You did this 7 years. You did the 3 years and then 7 years Euro champion, and then what happened next? You built these relationships.
I decided to build my own jet ski brand.
Yes.
To become an industrial and just sell sell some machines and try to achieve my goal. That was like, you know, use my skill that I developed in the past to build a company. And it was very hard because it was a very niche market. The racing jet ski was a very niche market. And in 2011, I get this crazy idea in my head, you know, to build the water flyboard, because I always been passionate by flying. When I was young, when I was like 16 years old, my dream was to become an helicopter pilot. I'm always passionate by flying, but unfortunately, I'm colorblind, so I was refused to the medical inspections. And then I have to forget this dream of flying, and I start jet ski racing that bring me to an amazing trip, you know, across 10 times the world. And it was amazing, but I always had this dream in my head, and I'm passionate about all comics book, Marvel, and Back to the Future, all this Hollywood, and then one day I get this crazy idea of, and then one day,
it's super cool, man. I feel it. I see what you're doing, and I feel the energy. It's super cool. Continue.
Yeah, and so I get this idea or this dream to fly using the jet ski energy, jet ski pump energy, to fly over the water is the idea I get in 2011. And so how to make flying a human above the waters, would be the most cool way to do it, and try to make closest as possible as Iron Man. And that's the reason why I created the flyboard, and it works. It took me just 1 month to develop it. And then I put some video on YouTube. It became viral, and everybody wants one. So far we produced and sold 15,000 units.
That's amazing.
So,
amazing. How much is one of these boards?
Excuse me?
How much is like a cost of? How much is one of these boards?
This board costs around $5,000, something like that.
$5,000. And are you selling them globally or just in France?
Yes, so I sold it myself until 2017, something like that. Yeah. And then when I start to build the jet one, you know, the Flyboard Air, it's called Flyboard Air, the one with jets. I changed the direction of my company, so I sold the license. I licensed another company, and I still own 50% of this company, but I don't run this company anymore. I'm not the CEO of this company, so I just get some royalties, so that's cool. But I'm not so much aware of how many machines are sold, etc. So now I'm more focused, you know, on I found a way to achieve my real dreams, you know, like, because the first day I flew the water flyboard, the first thing I imagine is how cool it could be to fly the same way, but all over the planet, not being limited by a hose, not be limited by water. So, and, you know, I'm not so much an entrepreneur, you know, I'm an entrepreneur because I have no other choice. You know, if you want to achieve your dreams, you have to generate money to go to the next step. But I'm not the kind of guy like focusing too much on business and money. So I'm really passionate about building things and achieve my dreams. So the first day I put my feet on the water flyboard, I just dreamed what it could be to fly with jets or whatever, that all over the planet. So I get these dreams, cool. and then I realized that I have to work hard in a way to finance this project. So I start to work hard, selling a lot of flyboard over the world. And when I get the opportunity, I build the jet ones, the Flyboard Air. And very soon after that, I really lost my enthusiasm and my passion about the water one. So I try to find a way to go out, you know, to get some money, get out, and continue working for my patients. And then it works, you know. So really fast after that, I found this deal, and my Flyboard Air was born, and now you know, we really imagine what can we do with this technology. And so
incredible.
I wanted to ask, how fast can they go? Because I
can. My record speed is 227 kilometers per hour.
On the Flyboard? Wow.
Yeah, you're like Iron Man.
I
It's
did
like
the
Iron
Formula
Man.
One. You know, when I did the race against the Formula One in Spa, the one you saw, I
Yeah,
did
yeah,
Formula
Yeah.
One. I finished
yeah.
first, you know, just few meters before. But the Formula One can fly at can run at 300 kilometers per hour, more than that. But I was faster in the curves. You know, I cannot pass. Or in Spa, I was around 210 kilometers per hour.
That's
But
crazy.
in a curve, I can go very faster than the car. So that's create the little difference.
That's so cool. So cool. So this is Sabata Company, right? This is when you founded the company. You started like going underneath it. I'm sure because you were very skilled with the machines, the jet skis, you really learned and knew, right, what's going on inside of them very naturally, etc. So then you started Zapata Company. I'm sure some years prior to when the 2011 idea came with the hoverboard, which was really the water board, right? That like water, jet type of thing. And then you developed working with this technology within this skill, focusing, honing in on this company, which you've built so well, as of course we've found you that way, publishing, your type of stuff. You're going viral naturally. It's such an innovative, really cool thing, like you're mentioning, right? It's got that Back to the Future vibe. It's like, what can we really do with this technology? And you're really tapping into it. So cool. So now you develop this type of idea into these jetpacks, and the term of the product, you said, what is it called? Like fly, what is it?
Flyboard Air. The jet one is
Flyboard Air.
Flyboard Air, yeah.
Yeah, and what exactly is it? So they put like like what is the exact product that they're putting?
It works almost same as the water one. So you have a board, but you have 5 jet engines in the middle that are controlled with some what we call flight controller that we also develop ourselves, and it's a kind of assistance, to help you to fly, to controlling some movement of the machine, and you have kerosene in your back, so 5 gallons of kerosene in my backpack, and that provide the energy to fly. And yes, we have 5 jet engine that we build ourselves. So same kind of the one you have on the A35, but very smaller.
Oh.
So it took us a lot of time to develop it, and the machine is full redundant. So that means like everything can break on the machine. You're still in the air. You can lose an engine, you can lose a flight controller, you can lose a battery, whatever you can imagine that doesn't affect the fly. You still have the ability to land. So that's the reason why I'm able to fly so fast over the ground or so high, because I'm feel really safe. I have a plan B and plan C.
Yeah. And, not to go to this direction, and highlight any potential negative at all. No intention of that, because this is super cool, but I'm very curious. It's so innovative and futuristic in a sense. Are there any limitations to this? Like as far as how you could ship it, like not anyone can use it. I'm sure it's like age. Like there's something to this, right? You can't just sell it anywhere. It's very, right?
No, the Flyboard Air, it's my machine, it's my toy. It's
that one.
It's not something that I can sell. It's not something that I can sell. There's too much limitations.
Yeah.
You have to train first. You have to train physically at least 2 hours per day.
Yeah.
Or you cannot fly.
I saw more. Do you feel like more of a future for that could be more governmental use? Because I've seen something like this.
No, the Flyboard Air, to be honest with you, I have no plan to sell it. We have different machines that now we are developing around this technology and around the technology that we develop on my company, but not the Flyboard Air for many reasons. The first one is
you're like the real life Iron Man.
Yeah,
it's very advanced.
The first reason is too hard to drive, too dangerous. The regulation are not there. It's a really big gift that in the United States we can use it under the ultralight rules. So that means like I'm free to fly everywhere I want. But if I starting to sell, people will do crazy things, and even if I get millions to get it, if I lost the right to fly, it's more than millions for me. So to be honest with you, it's like it's my Iron Man suit, and I doesn't want to sell it.
That's why.
No money worth. No money worth.
It's smart. It's honestly very smart with marketing too, because it's going to go viral, bring attention to your company, and then you have all these other kind of products which are
Yeah,
very cool
so
products.
today we I had a dream because when people look at me flying, and everybody asked me, "Oh, can I try?" And then I saw how much people was enthusiastic of flying, and so what we did is we create different machines, flying machine that people can use, and one of them called Jet Racer. I don't know if you saw the video of that, of our Jet Racer.
I might have. I looked through a bunch of things.
It's a jet car. It's a jet
Oh,
car.
yes,
Oh, yes.
That
Okay.
can do even a barrel roll. You know, you see that you can just you can fly it. You just press a switch and it achieve a barrel roll. You can see that
Crazy.
on our website on our. So this is a machine that is piloted by a human, but controlled by a computer in the same time. So you have the freedom to do whatever you want, like in the Fifth Element or like
I would love to try that next time when I go to Monaco. I have a friend that's like every 2 weeks in Monaco. He's like, come, you have your own guest bedroom here whenever you want to come. So, you know, if you're there.
Yeah, so no, but in January, we will be in the United States in January.
Oh,
to
yeah.
make people fly.
Awesome.
And so if you want to join us for this fight,
Yeah, we'll definitely stay in touch, of course.
Miami, New York.
So, you know, Franky, with respect to time.
It will be in Arizona.
Arizona. Okay. All right.
Yeah, because you know, I don't know if you know, it's a little city, but it's called Lake Havasu. Do you know Lake Havasu?
No.
It's a city close to Vegas, like 2 hours from Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And it's about my second home because it's where the jet ski world championship was organized every year since the last 40 years. So and I'm one of the only ones that still live in France. For all my old competitors, that's still my best friends, and most of them still living in Lake Havasu. So when I arrived there, I have tons of friends. So it will be very, very easier for me to do this first human experience.
That's pretty
cool.
In the US, first human experience in the US, right?
Yeah. So we have 70 people flying. So the way we did it is we ask people if they want to fly, they just have to go on our website and register their name, and then we pick up a name. Like 100 people are selected with all these people that file emails, and then we select 25 of them plus 15 media and 10 people from the social media plus 20 others that like a business partner or friends, you know. So we have about 70 people, but we have already 8,000 mail. We already received 8,000 mail for this experience. So at the end of November, we will pick up 100 names and then go to the selection. So yes, in January, that would be the first flying car ever that we will put humans on it and see how people will react, and they will all fly in the United States in January.
Oh, very cool, man! Absolutely amazing. Must be. It's exciting, man.
I'm ready to check it out.
It's so cool, so cool. So, you know, with respect to time, you know, Franky, I want to also ask you a few other questions, not to really shift the topic entirely, but I want to get into a few other things. And just curious, you know, as you've been very focused, you've been you had such amazing achievements in the jet ski career that you've had, which is, you know, takes a lot of discipline and skill to develop, right? To be at that high level, like you have been, and then to go into the manufacturing and develop such, you know, creative, unique, imaginary type, you know, products. It's like you take the impossible, make it possible. You're in and around these boundaries, which is super cool and interesting. You know, I'm going to naturally be super, you know, very in tune with you. You know, I already been looking, of course, you know, Ian loves you. I love you already. I'm looking into everything you're doing. It's so cool. You know, I want to ask you, what's like the morning routine of Franky? What's the day-to-day in that morning routine that's keeping you so driven to be that high level in everything you've done and maintain this high level? You're talking about flying cars. It's just amazing what you're still doing. And, you know, what is there something going on in the morning routine that just keeps you so driven?
Yeah.
Pattern?
Yeah, most of the time I'm going to the company from my house to the company by running or by cycling. So like a
I
very
like
hot
to run
morning.
also.
And
Okay.
then and then I have about 30 employees at the company, and then I run
You
I
have
run
30 employees?
30.
30.
Yeah, I 30 employees, and then I go from the design to the business side to the mechanics, and I work with almost everything. So I design
Okay.
machines, so and
So
then
your morning, you get up at what time do you really get up in the morning? Are you an early
6
riser?
6 a.m.
6 a.m. So you're usually up around 6, and then you go for a run or a workout, you say.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you go right into work and you work with all your different departments within your company, right? Do you do anything else? Do you do any type of meditation, anything else in the morning? I'm just curious. No? Just
No,
that
no, no, no.
workout, right to it. You
Just
go to your
work
different
out,
departments.
and then I work whole day until 6:30, and then I'm go to the CrossFit. You know, I'm a very fan of CrossFit, and
Okay.
I do CrossFit 6 times a week. You know, with and that
Okay.
keep me in competitions with all my friends, good competitions. So
Yeah.
every day we're doing a workout, and we fight together, you know, on the CrossFit. So and CrossFit helped me a lot because the flyboard there is really you need endurance, but you need also to have some high level energy. So I'm doing CrossFit, and then I back at home at 8:30 and doing some call with the United States. So I finish about my all day around 10 p.m. 10
Wow.
10:30. You know.
Let me
So
ask you, would you say there's one thing in particular in that morning routine or daily routine that you did just mention, or maybe you didn't mention, that is like very helpful for you, like keeps you disciplined and on point? Is there anything in particular or all of it? Would you say the
sports,
CrossFit
sports, sports. Sports is it's everything for
that
me
keeps you
because
balanced?
sports, you know, it's something like when I push my body at the maximum is the only moment in the day like I can put my brain on off, you know.
Yes,
And,
yes.
even
And
at
it
night,
keeps you,
even
it
at
allows
night,
you to, it allows you to
even,
perform well when you're in work, right?
yeah, exactly. Because even during the night, if I get asleep with a problem in my head, I dream of it, and so it's not so much time in the 24 hour when I can switch off my brain, and it's the only moment is when I'm doing sport because I'm doing most of the time all very high, very extreme level sports
Yeah, intensity.
or extreme
Yeah.
sport also. You know, so when I'm doing bike, for example, I'm going downhill very crazy, so I need to focus or I die. And when I'm doing CrossFit, I push myself the maximum. So the 2 times per day when I can really switch off my brains and forget that forget my dream for a little, you know, and so
Yeah.
that's really important for me. That give me if I'm sure that if I'm stopped doing sport and I would be very less creative than I'm today. You know, it's my pose. You know, it's
Yeah,
my
it sparks, it's like a spark for you, right? For everything else.
exactly.
I like it. I love it. Very cool. Appreciate you sharing that. You know, another thing I want to ask you, Franky, through your career and your current day to day, maybe something more recent or back in the day, is there anything in particular you remember that you found a lot of value from? Whether it was a very fruitful moment, a milestone that was amazing, a successful achievement, and or it was another moment where it was maybe a hurdle that you just it was a lesson learned, but something valuable.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. The one of the biggest milestone we achieved so in the last few years, you know, it's that I crossed the British Channel with my flyboard there. So I took off in France and I land in England. So 40 kilometers at 170 kilometers average. So
Wow.
that was something like it was a very huge thing for me because, you know, as I told you, I dream to fly since I'm born, and I read all the story about the Wright brothers
Yeah.
or Blériot. No, Blériot is the first man that's flying a powered machines, and he crossed the British Channel with this
Oh,
machine
wow.
in 1990. and in 1919, you know. And
What was his name? What was his name?
Blériot, Louis Blériot. It's a French guy,
Okay.
you know, and
Okay.
it's the guy. It's the second guy after the White brother that
Yeah.
everybody was working at the same time on the parade aircraft, and he found a way to build one that was reliable and stay in the air. And now it's time to cross the British Channel. And he is an old history book, and I read all the book around that, you know. And so my dream was really to try to do the same things, you know, 110 years after him.
Yeah.
And I failed the first time because I wasn't I missed the landing and crashed in the water, and we do it the week after, and I success. So that was one of the most amazing thing I did. And after that, you know, we worked since about 3 years on our jet car that's called the Jet Racer. And it was extremely hard to invent the jet engines, invent the flight controllers, make this machine flying. And yes, a few months ago, the first day I sit on it and was able to fly. That's also considered as a big milestone. But everything's continued to going forward. You know, for us, we now that we have all this flying machine, our goal is to change the mobility of humans. But in a way to have adapt, the only thing we missed was the energy, because the jet racer and the flyboard there consume a lot of energy due to the fact that flying with jets. So and I know that thousands of company buildings air taxi with electric battery. But the problem with the electric battery is that the autonomy is really limited, because the energy density for 1 kilos of battery, it's equivalent to have 1 kilos of gasoline is the equivalent energy of 21 kilos of battery. So I tried to imagine a machine that was safe and also that produced the less carbon possible, but also be able to fly like people dreams, like more than an hour or 2 hours. And so we create our own engines. It's an hybrid engines. And with this machine, we are able to, under the ultralight rules, so United States. So that means like everybody can take it and everybody can fly, needn't to be a pilot, needn't to be certified pilot. So everybody will be able to fly very soon in the United States. And so the dream that we had with this machine was in the same times be able to fly hours, like more than 2 hours, with a very cheap price, and everybody will be able to achieve his dream. And this machine is almost done. And our plan is to prove that the machine have a long fly, a long range, and really reliable, etc. Our goal is next spring, is to cross the complete Route 66 with this machine. You know, so start in Chicago and land in Los Angeles. So this is our next big project.
Wow.
It's this hybrid machine.
So cool, man. So unique. Awesome. Like it's not every day you speak to somebody doing what you're doing. Yeah. You know, it's really, really cool. You know, let me ask you that question as we're wrapping up a bit. I know you have some other meetings too. You know, what would you say to someone that's so inspired by this or by you? You know, you have a nice audience you're building, you're active, you're engaging with your community. It's such a cool product concept, visual that you're giving off, the content. Everything you're doing is awesome, right? Very, very interesting, unique, and inspiring. What would you say to somebody that's like, wow, Franky, this is like a dream too. I'm awesome at riding quads, or, you know, doing this. Never maybe that to that level where they're winning championships, but they're just into it. And then they found that they love the mufflers and all the different pieces, the 300 parts that build this, you know, machine. And then they want to, you know, what would you say to somebody like that may be watching or just is interested, you know? How did you build this company and really get into it in terms of that development or manufacturing part?
The most important thing is to believe in yourself and to have some dreams, you know. I never work 1 hour in my life, you know. I just play, you know. I just play as a kid. So when you love something as crazy, you know, when you love something as crazy, you're good, you know, because I'm able to think about a problem for 20 hours a day and without to be boring or tired, because it's my passion, you know. And so the most important thing in life is doing what you like. It's the the decision I took when I was 16 years old. I believe that I will live like a gypsy, you know, for all my life, because when you follow your dreams, sometimes you're not successful, but I didn't care, you know. It's exactly what I want to do. What I want to do at this period of time is just I realize my dream, have a special life, doing only what I like. I didn't expect that I can get some money, and that's good. That's something positive. But this wasn't the goal at all. The goal is and I wasn't able even to dream to be at this place today, because it was too far for that I expect. But honestly, the most important thing this counts for me is realize my dream. You know, you start with the dreams, and now my only dream is to see how far we can go. You know, I think the most important thing for a human is not to go too far than the others. The most important thing for me is to touch the limits. You know, to touch your limits, not
go to the fullest level.
Not to compare against the others, but you know, when I start my life as a sportsman, the most important thing in sport is touching your limits. Even if you win, maybe it's not your limit. So try to pushing harder in a way for where is the limit. Just try to find it, or the closest point possible. And if your limit is just number 1,000, it's fine. The most important thing for a human, I feel, is touching his limits. So the only things I really want is to see exactly what is our really limit with the team, because I have an amazing team, passionate, etc. So I really want to see what's next, you know, and what will be our next challenge, and really feel like, okay, now we are at the end. So this is the most important thing. So follow your dreams and put yourself the maximum to achieve your limit, without you have big goals. You know, the goals is not the end, is not the story. You know, the journey is the story. The journey is the most important, and touch your limits. Don't compare against yours.
I always say the same thing too. When you pick a job that you love, you never work a day in your life, you know, because you're that passionate about it.
And that's the dream number one. You know, that's the dream number one. You know.
Yeah, you have to love that process. You're playing right now. You're not working. You're really engaged in it now.
I'm playing every day. You know,
and when you really tap into that, that's when you reach your fullest extreme, your fullest potential, because it's naturally what you're into, right? And the byproduct of that is going to be the most money you probably could make, or the best relationships you could make. Maybe not could. You could probably have done a million other things, right? Who knows? But it's really tapping into those full things, because when you don't focus on those other things and they just come, that's when you really know, you know, you're really doing what you should be doing. You know, and you're tapped in, let's say, right, or whatever you would call it. But absolutely awesome. You know, a last question I want to ask, and you touched on, books you've read with the Wright brothers and other things. Maybe that would be the answer. But do you have like a favorite book that comes top of mind, or like a top book, top 2-3 books? I'm curious if there's something that you read or you love.
Not really a book, but what inspired me the most since I'm born, that's I want to say, like, Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, right? This guy, I love it. I love it. So cool. Yeah. You saw that, you're like, I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna do that.
Right? Yeah, exactly. You know, and when the craziest things is, it's a hazard, to be honest, but the craziest thing in Back to the Future too, you know, when the Marty McFly used this overboard, it was in 2015. The period, you know, in the future was the year in the future was 2015. You know?
No.
Yeah, and I keep that in my mind, like, okay, maybe in 2015 we will have overboard, you know. Yeah. And then when I realized that nothing there in 2015, so I created my flyboard there, you know, just a few months after. So I flew the first time. I flew the first time the flyboard there in January 2016. So just a month after, I realized that Nobody will do it, so I have to do it my own.
Very cool. So that's an inspiration to you. I feel that. And I know the books with the Wright brothers and all that. Is there anything else that comes top of mind, not to put you on the spot, but that you think
No,
is valuable?
just you are welcome to test the Jet Racer in January,
Awesome. Awesome. I
and
appreciate
no,
that.
it's
Let's stay in touch.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Thank
this
you.
Yeah,
interview,
oh,
and
it's all love. Appreciate you coming on. Really an inspiration. Super cool what you're doing. The Billionaires Club and the magazine. We're here to support always. Always here to show love and keep doing what you're doing, man. Really, really inspiring. All right. Thank you so much for your time
For
today.
January.
Yes. Thank you.
thank you so
Take
much.
care. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.
Thank
Thank you for watching this episode. We upload a new episode every Friday at 5 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. We as well greatly appreciate those that have subscribed to the channel. We appreciate the love and the support. Lastly, if you've missed last week's episode, tune into the episode right here.